Yes, we're back. We're back again in X-Plane. We're back again to carry on our journey up the UK by going along the UK. I shall explain more. We're here in Dunkeswell, where we ended up last time, and yes, we've changed planes again. This time, it's a Socata TB10 Tobago, or Trinidad, one of the two. Anyway, this little beastie here, which I really love the interior of, we'll have a look at that in a second. And we're going from Dunkeswell to Compton Abbas. I told you it was going to be small airports. Grab that guidebook to grass strips and let's go. So hi there, Steve here, and yes, welcome back to X-Plane, and welcome to this, the TB10, and I really love how old school 80s this thing feels. Let's power it up. Let's give it some electrics. Avionics on. Panel on. Put the mixture on. It's alive. Right, so yes, look how brilliant this thing looks. It's awesome, isn't it? We're carrying on our adventure. So last time we made it to Dunkeswell. Now we're coming all the way across here and going to Compton Abbas. I could have come down to Bournemouth. Didn't want to do that really. Trying to avoid proper airports. So Compton Abbas, I think next time then may have to be down here to the Isle of Wight. I think that's going to be an awesome flight. Down to the Isle of Wight and then maybe across up to here or Brighton or something, before we carry our way around the outside of the UK. Eventual aim is to get to John O'Groats. So we better pop that, where are we going, into our nav. And it is EGHA, so let's pop that in. EGHA, Compton Abbas is where we're going. Activate that. 41 miles. So if you look at a little nav map again, if I bring it back in and if I zoom in where we are, we're actually at the wrong, oh no, we really need to take off. Wind's behind us, so actually we need to take off the way we're going and then turn onto a heading of 82. So let's pop that in my panel. Spin it all the way around to 82. You can see down here the heading bug is shifting as I turn my SciTech panel around to 82. So there we go. So that's the heading we're going to go on. Yeah, this thing is really nicely done. I do really like it. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description below. Also, fuel switching we've got on. Everything else is fine. I do like the fact we got this computer that shows us the endurance of the aircraft, so how far we can actually fly it. That's pretty cool. And the logbook showing all the flights that I've done and how long they have been. 259 landings, 192 hours I've spent in X-Plane. That's a little bit of an addiction, I think. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Lights and things, let's put some of those on. Taxi lights, landing lights are on. We are ready to go. If you're new to my videos, welcome. This is a series that's going to appear every Saturday on the channel. Also, other content from me, as I get to try and make myself comfortable, is something from OMSI the Bus Simulator on a Monday, something from Train Sim on a Wednesday, and something from either Tourist Bus or Firm Bus on a Friday, with the occasional random Sunday video chucked in there as well. So plenty of content from me. Please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already. Let's make our way out onto the runway. So once again, we're in active sky. We're in True Earth from Orbx, which again I'll link their site in the description below. which is making the UK look absolutely stunning, which is why I wanted to do this this journey basically, so we can see the UK in brilliant detail. So there we go, not very far from the runway we were positioned. We've got the radio noise, which I've had every time I've been in this aircraft. The ticking. Let me try and change. Changing the frequencies on the radio doesn't seem to do a thing, but hey ho. Right then, let us depart. Rather noisily. Bit of a crosswind in the UK actually. As I record this, it is really windy. It's saying we should be at 3,000 feet. Nope, 2,000 feet is absolutely fine. Okay. So yeah, as I'm recording this, which is the 15th of March, we are going through a lot of winds here in the UK, certainly southern UK. So hopefully that doesn't hinder our progress. A landing could certainly be interesting. So we'll turn ourselves onto the correct heading. We can turn our taxi lights off and our landing lights off now. It does seem as though we're just spinning round and round in circles, doesn't it? That's because I hadn't pressed the heading bug properly. Right, so we've got a slightly less dizziness turn. Gives us a chance to look at little nav map a little tiny bit longer. Little nav map, True Earth. Right, finally setting ourselves on the correct heading after a interesting departure of out, spiral and that way. So that's where we're heading to, heading in the right direction. It's saying there I know how don't know I get that back now. Okay, that's interesting. Hopefully we're on the right heading. I've twiddled with something. And then I get it back now. Okay, well, we'll leave that as it is. It does give us a chance. We are heading in the right direction, so that's something. It does give us a chance to look at brilliant True Earth scenery. Just how good does that look? It just looks epic, doesn't it? It just looks, it's just amazing. You would think from this that you are actually flying over the UK. It's just absolutely stunning. Right, let's check my right, RPM's in the red. That's probably not a good thing, really. Let's bring that back down. There we go. We're holding steady at 2,000 feet. We are heading in the right direction. I don't know what I've done with that. $82 degrees at 34 miles to go. What's my heading on now? 82 degrees. That's fine. So we're on target. Very cruising along at a nice steady 130-ish. These fuel gauges in this thing, look at that, sort of rotary rolling gauges. Remind me of really old Citroens. They're really nice. Voltage is fine, left and right fuel are fine, oil pressure's okay, oil temperature's fairly high, but we're not too worried about that. Engine RPM's fine. There's the fuel quantities over there. Fuel flow is fine. Outside air temperature 9 degrees. And this shows I've done 6 hours in this plane. And yeah, I really like the fact it's old school, very old school 80s it feels. But just really, really well modelled. I think it's awesome. So yeah, a little bit bumpy now. So when we do bring this thing into land, that's charred down there, which looks nice. So we're going to leave charred behind and come up on crew kern next. I think it should be a straight in approach as well. Hopefully that's the case, because you know it's a grass strip I think we're landing on. Yeah, it should be straight in, and yeah, a grass strip. So there's Compton Abbas, so there's the right route we're taking, and it is going to be a grass landing strip straight in. So that's going to be interesting. So I could have landed at, there was an airfield up by Salisbury I could have landed on, so I could have chosen the easy route and done Bournemouth, but I don't want to stick to mainstream airports. I want to try and stay at small little strips, sort of things that these planes should be landing on. Although, you know, you do see smaller planes landing at Bournemouth, etc. There's no way I'm going anywhere near Heathrow. That's definitely not going to happen. But yeah, it'd be nice to land at some smaller strips. I see my route that I plan on taking is so we're currently here, South Coast. We started off all the way down here, and the plan is I'm going to come along. So we go to where we are now, maybe down to the Isle of Wight next, cut across here, round to here, up to there, maybe cut across straight over to here. Is that a major airport? Southend, a little bit big. Maybe what's Clacton like? Clacton could be interesting. So maybe we can cut across from Manston straight across to Clacton. That could be good. And then come up here, up the east coast of the UK. We'll avoid Hull, obviously, because you know why wouldn't you? And then north. So we try and come inland a little bit, North York Moors. Try and land at some of these remote strips. We get a bit further apart when we come up. Further north, so up towards Aberdeen, and then that's the furthest north strip we can land on. Really, is going to be Wick. So what I think we'll do is we'll land at Wick, and then we'll fly up and around Thurso and John O'Groats, and then come back and land at Wick again. But it's going to take us a little while to get that far. So yeah, currently there. So 23 miles to destination, 10 miles to top of descent. And I think, based on these winds that we've got going on here, landing is going to be interesting. Because we currently got Storm Gareth in the UK. You can see that how much the thing's bouncing around. But 22 miles to go. What altitude the place is out that we're going to? It's at 800 feet. So this thing cruising along quite nicely. It's sort of Cessna 172 speeds, this sort of around 130, 140. But I just think it looks a lot. I love the 172, but I love the quirkiness of this. It's brilliant. This is one that when I first started X-Plane, I wanted to, every plane I bought, I wanted to fly for the first time from the place where it was built, which led to my whole flying the Quest Kodiak from Sandpoint, Idaho, all the way back to the UK, which I did. This I picked up in southern France, I think these are built. Picked it up and flew it back to the UK as well. And did the same with the PC-12. I've done the same with the... What else did I buy? One of the other planes I bought. I had the first flight from the place it was built. It just gives you, I just had a sense of realism. Although in real life you wouldn't necessarily pick up, you don't pick up your new Tesla from the Tesla factory, do you? You pick it up from your local Tesla dealer. So it isn't exactly accurate. But that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did with this. I remember flying it at night up through France, or it was getting dusk, and then didn't have the auto fuel switching turned on, which is this here. So I ran out of fuel. I watched these fuel gauges come down, managed to switch it from one tank to another tank, which is done down here. So managed to switch between tanks, but then that got quite low just as I was coming to the northern coast of France. And ran out of fuel, so that's not good. So yeah, there's the tow you can do. There's the pre-flight. I think is that called a checklist? Oh yeah, end of checklist. Yeah, okay. That's yeah, that's certainly some things that you need to follow. Engine start, yeah, checklist there, and the takeoff checklist, and the climb checklist, and the landing checklist. So there's definitely checklists there should you be that way inclined. So yeah, really great plane. Lots of things you can tweak and do with it. So I've got in here is the auto set of the pressure, reflections turned on or off for the windscreen, and panels as well, just to give that. I think it looks a bit better with the panel reflections turned on. And you can set your weights balances, you can set your oil and stuff, you can set the volume controls, lighting, that's the chocks, the manual pushback, that's the logbook, that's the computer thing we looked at. So currently, if I maintain this speed at this altitude at an endurance of 2.5 hours, so a range of 400 miles, so that's not bad. So we are bouncing along quite nicely. 11 miles to destination now. So that's gone really quickly, hasn't it? So I should really start descending. Because somewhere in front of us, in 10 miles, is a runway. And it should be out. Should be just off to our left hand side somewhere. And let's descend again. Let's use a heading bug. Let's change course slightly. We're now 7 miles away. So being able to see it now, you'd think would be a thing. But it's a bit of a hazy day. Runway heading is right. Oh, car. Where? Nice. So 78 degrees is the runway heading. I can't see anything 5 miles in front of us that would remotely resemble a runway. Whose idea was it to land on a grass strip? It should be just the other side of the road. Well, according to the little nav map, I'm heading straight for it as well. Let's descend, because we're only 3 miles away now. And I can't see. Ah, is that it up there? That could be it up there. I reckon. Right, we're 2 miles away now. So crossing the road, which is this. And then it should be, we're on runway heading, it's directly in front. Ah, there it is. I've spotted it, it's there. Okay, with thanks to little nav map. Right, pop the lights on. Give it some flaps. That's definitely well hidden out of the way. Yeah, stop warning about car ice. There you go. We made it. Alright, we'll turn it around. There isn't really a control building down here. So yeah, the joy of trying to land a grass strip is finding the grass strip. I love how this thing sounds when it's taxiing. Well, there we go. At least we found the airport. We've made it to Compton Abbas. Next time we will carry on from here, and yeah, maybe jump in something a little tiny bit quicker and make our way down to the Isle of Wight, continuing our journey around the UK. And there we go. Let's turn everything off. We've made it. We can probably put the chocks on. I've got the parking brake on, have I? Let's, where is the parking brake on this thing? Is it that? Okay, now I can put the chocks on. There we go. So all tied down, all parked up, and ready for the next journey, but it could be in a different plane next time. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that quick little look at True Earth. We made it another leg further along to Compton Abbas. Next time we will leave from this very grass strip and make our way southeast, maybe down to the Isle of Wight. That's going to be great. Hope the weather improves by then. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit subscribe to see the rest of this series. We're going to keep going with this every Saturday until we make our way up to John O'Groats in various aircraft along the way. And don't forget to check out my other content as well. OMSI on a Monday, Train Sim on a Wednesday, and either Tourist Bus or Firm Bus on a Friday. Until the next time then, if you have been... Oh, and don't forget to check out the Discord server. I'll link that as well. Until the next time, if you have been, thanks very, very much for watching.